Sorry, what? I hear you say a Steins Gate isekai? I know the number of Steins Gate manga you've told me about that I've literally never heard of is getting kind of ridiculous at this point, king of weeaboos, but is there not a point where you start questioning what you're doing with your life? Every day, friend. Every day. Okay, look, the weebs have a point. It's not even just an isekai. Literally, it's an isekai spin-off of a spin-off story. Like, what? I mean, there's only so much spinning you can do before your fans start wearing blue furry costumes and getting arrested for incest. And I'm dying to tell you about it, but first I have to hope that I don't get arrested because it's the sequel to the Kurisu route in My Darling's Embrace. And the main problem with My Darling's Embrace is that it's supposed to be this slapstick rom-com bit, which, let me see if I can properly explain what's wrong here. It's visual comedy in a medium that uses words and the occasional frowny JPEG. Now, well, there's a really bad eroge I've played recently that would really like you to believe that this works pretty well. It does not. Bro, this would be like trying to create a 1/10 scale model of the Parthenon using chocolate chip cookies. Like, I get how you would attempt this in theory, but at the same time, use them for literally anything else. The fact that My Darling's Embrace is somehow still quite good speaks to the quality of the writing at play here, but there must be better things you could do with your time. So, enter the mangalization. Yes, this is the actual word in Japanese. Okay, full stop. I love this. I mean, look at it. Is this not like a billion times better? Using the amazing technology of pictures to bring actual life and energy to Kurisu and Okabe's facial expressions as they rage at each other beyond the whimpering scowls of shaky JPEGs. Having, you know, actual visuals to visual comedy. And yes, okay, it can't help but throw in some light full frontal nudity as it shows us with Kurisu in the shower, because either the point of Okabe being blindfolded and gagged went over the author's head, or more likely they were rubbing one out while working on this. And then, hello, weeaboo, you were gonna tell us about isekai? Okay, calm down, Grant, we'll get to that. But for those less cool among you, we really need to summarize the plot of the Kurisu route first. Technically spoilers, but guys, this is a slapstick rom-com. Nothing actually important happens. Basically, Kurisu invents a future gadget that makes people fall in love with the power of electrophilia in the form of a shock bracelet that forces users to stay together and hold hands via a threat of electrocution. And while this would be kinky enough, she accidentally used her other future gadget to record all of her wet dreams, which Data then broadcasts all over Akihabara for the world to see. In other words, Okabe and Kurisu get all horny and shit as they're forced to be in arm's reach for about a week straight as they learn to stop fighting. Here's the problem with it though. It doesn't actually end, because the moment she and Okabe fall in love and get released from her electric shock band, they start fighting again and Mayuri puts it back on, and then it goes... Okay, on one hand, this is kind of perfect sitcom writing. On the other, bro, I'd still do kind of want to see them kiss and stuff. Like, what else would be the point? Hello? Apparently you all did too, because they were like, well, what if, when we mangalize this, again, yes, I cannot stress enough how much this is literally the word, we made 2 more volumes continuing the story, and made one of them an isekai for, like, good measure. Enter the isekai. Yes, hello, welcome back to the video, Grant. So, the next thing that happens is Kurisu decides to upgrade Future Gadget number 13 to project images inwards as well, having not only not learned her lesson, but apparently also forgot every other lesson in the book as she enlists Daru's help in programming it, who then tries to put everyone into his favorite eroge so we can have sweet, sexy times with all the lab mem waifus. Yeah, so if My Darling's Embrace was a what if, this is like if Steins Gate, but what if it was written by the sweatiest of sweaty weeaboos as Okabe and Kurisu get isekai'd into eroge high school with all the lab members. You're probably thinking this sounds either extremely epic or painfully generic, depending on how much hentai you personally watch. And it would be kind of lame were it not for the sizzling irony that Okabe's character bakes into the story here. But also, this still is just straight up an eroge plot. Okay, look, you see this locker scene with Fetis where they're hiding and her boobs press up against him? Yeah, I've played this scene before in, you know, extremely famous eroge and main inspiration for Steins Gate. How do I describe this without getting demonetized? You get into the locker with your teacher, and she jerks you off while watching two of the other teachers go at it like a pair of secret fuck monkeys. Oh, god damn it. There goes my Taiyaki budget this month. So anyway, while all the boys are in love with Ferris, the secret twist that you will never see coming is that all the girls are in love with Kako, who is secretly a girl with a suspiciously large chest that I have to censor. And then Moekai is the, easy route as the school nurse. You know, if this all sounds a little too horny when literally every character starts rubbing their tits on Okabe's face, a quick reminder that the original Kurisu side story has her blindfold Okabe and tie him to the bed in her hotel room. Okay, so I'm on two minds about this. On one, this, well, you've seen my Dojin collection. I mean, this works surprisingly well, what with it being isekai, but you die if you don't get laid. I mean, is that or is that not every weeaboo's sweaty fever dream? Sorry, I was going somewhere with this. What I'm trying to say is that Steins Gate's unique brand of irony makes this work so much better than you'd think, as Daru and Kurisu push Okabe to get laid. And Okabe chooses Mayuri until Mayuri pushes him to choose Kurisu, who he just kind of passed up as a route because she's the only other person in the isekai world who isn't an NPC. And this just works so well, except it cucks us on the ending again and pushes us to round 3, which is less kinky. By which I mean Suzuha kicks Okabe in the balls while Moeka and Kurisu try to shock him again. Basically, coming back from Isekai Land with the bluest balls this side of the North Pole as Daru finds a way to un-isekai them at the most inconvenient moment possible, Okabe realizes that Kurisu's leaving Japan and sends a D-mail to try and make her stay, which for some reason goes horribly wrong and causes him to lose his memories. And the lab members try everything they can to bring them back, which ends up being like 3 chapters of goofy shit and also all of the girls rubbing their tits on his face. But no, in the end, not even Kurisu's modest but firm bust could bring back his memories, because what brings them back is love. Running out into the night and seeing Mayuri standing there with Kurisu, reaching up into the sky and making a wish to the stars. It's her secret ability, her stardust handshake, that brings his memories of her in the lab back to her. But Kurisu's don't. They're still lost somewhere in the universe. Why? Well, maybe if she just tries electrocuting him with a car battery, that'll— no? Well, fuck, dude. Okay, I'm in two minds about the ending. On one hand, it's really funny that 2 characters try to shock him, and what actually brings his memories back is him putting on the Darling no Baka wristband again and remembers her by being shocked. So yes, it's an amazing irony that if Kurisu just rammed him in the dick with the car battery, maybe his memories would have come back. And so he runs out of the lab to find Kurisu and puts the wristband on her again so she can't be all tsundere and get on the plane to America before he finally confesses his love to her. I actually really like this. Not only is this funny, bringing it back to the wristband brings the whole story full circle, but instead of her telling him not to go like in her wet dream fantasy that got broadcast to all of Akihabara, he's telling her not to go. But if there's one miss here, it's that, well, it doesn't end with the kiss. Hello? I mean, it's not that I want them to kiss, I do, but like, did the writers not remember the kiss scene in Steins Gate, where Kurisu says she only kisses him because it'll create a lasting impression in his hippocampus, so he'll never forget her no matter what world line he crosses, no matter where in the universe he is, so that each Okabe and each Kurisu will remember each other across time and space and the universe. That kiss? So let's get this straight. You had Okabe lose his memories of who he is, and everyone keeps trying everything they can to get his memories back, and he remembers everything but Kurisu. And then to remember Kurisu, she doesn't kiss him? Guys, this can't be rocket science. Sure, maybe it's a different world line, but the entire point was that this kiss would be something that would persist across all world lines, no matter where in space-time they went. And you just forgot about this? Hello? This wouldn't be such a big deal, but all else aside, this is by far the best Steins Gate manga. Not that that's like that high of a bar to clear. There's like only one more that I'd actually consider really good that we'll talk about in a few weeks, but like this is the only black spot on an almost perfect spin-off. It takes everything about My Darling's Embrace and just runs with it, making it bigger and goofier and sexier and with more kurisu. This is what a Steins Gate manga spin-off should look like. So the fact that there's just such a huge fucking miss here just makes me cry. It's like you were so close. You were so close! Well, that wraps up My Darling's Embrace. Stay tuned for next time when we talk about the untranslated kurisu manga that was so bad, it literally got canceled right before the last volume. As always, thank you so much for your time, friends, and I will see you in the next video.